Probably not. Hello all. You got your face mask, that's good. I got mine. I'll put it on a bit later. Liz, would you like to try your share screen?
Yes, I would, if that's okay with everybody. Just a minute.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Hold. So do I need to bring this up again? And okay, now
Yes, you'll need to,
is it good?
nope.
Okay, just a minute.
You need to go down to share screen
Yeah, I did, and I did.
at the bottom. And then pull it up and then click on it, hit share.
Okay. So, oh wait, so I'm gonna, I said share screen. And then
Mhm.
over
But you need,
here. Can you see where I am? Oh, okay.
nope,
So it says I'm,
there we go.
okay.
Yay. And then you can just run your slideshow. You're right, you got it.
Okay, well, my slideshow isn't running. How come my slideshow's not running?
Can you go down to the bottom? Go hit from the beginning on the far left. See where it says from the beginning on the far left? Yeah, click. There we go. There. Yay.
Okay, so, you know, when you walk
You're good.
me through this again. Okay,
I can do that.
okay.
There we go. So hello, Jean. Hello, Cliff.
Jeannie, what are you doing on a treadmill?
I'm not sure exactly what I'm not really seeing. Yay,
Are you
Jean.
multitasking? Is that what you're doing? Oh, for Pete's sakes. Now you're going to make me feel guilty.
Getting her steps in. Atta girl. Although I don't know what Dean and Carol are doing. I see some Afghan over what looks like a bicycle of some sort.
Oh, yeah. Well, Cliff's out getting ready
Oh, a
to go
cattail.
fishing.
I see. Oh, Cliff is going fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on mute, Cliff. You gotta unmute or hit the space bar.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
For those wanting, there we go.
I'm thinking about
You're going
fishing, but I
fishing.
won't go.
There are a lot of people ice. Hayden, is that ice safe to be fishing on?
I'm sorry.
There's a lot
It
of
won't be
people,
after this week.
there's a lot of people fishing on ice fishing on Ada Hayden. Is
Oh,
that?
are they?
Yeah, scary.
That's never
Yeah.
interested me.
For
I like a warm room. Right?
I've never been a fan of ice fishing myself either.
Neither have I.
Dean, Dean Phillips, we're wondering what you have under the Afghan behind you.
Oh, that's my wife's recumbent bike. So,
Well, Jean Rogert is multitasking. She's on the treadmill while she's on the Zoom call.
no,
We were wondering if,
what can I say?
no.
I know, surprised she's not got something in the oven. I suppose she has dinner in the oven, right, Jeannie? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Since she broke her arm, she
Yeah.
hasn't been on the recumbent bike. I told
Oh,
her
Carol
that should-
broke her-
Oh,
Yeah.
when did
I told her that
when
shouldn't
did you
stop her
break her
from doing
arm?
it. I'm sorry?
When did she break her arm?
5 weeks ago this Wednesday.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
So am I.
Oh,
she's listening in.
how did Carol do that? What graceful act did she do? Slip on the ice or what?
No, we were going into one of the clinics over at Iowa City, and they laid out this serpentine route
Uh-huh.
to route patients through to the check-in stations at the end of the route. And we were just entering it, and there was an abutment pillar that intruded into our path. And she caught that with her right shoulder and threw her off balance and fell over.
Oh, wow. Oof. Ugh.
We got all kinds of attention real quick.
Well, right, good place to be.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I'm
It's
so
not to
sorry.
be
to hear.
recommended as
Yeah.
not the kind of
Following that
attention you
procedure.
wanted.
Yeah. So, are we to be wearing our masks now? I see.
Not the kind of attention you want.
Okay.
Today we were.
I have mine, but I suggest you don them at noon, unless you want to wear them now. But I'll put mine on at noon when Chad opens it up,
Okay,
so.
Okay, there's Chad.
I got mine at the ready,
Hi, Chad.
so.
Yep, so so do I. Got mine. I almost forgot it. It was in the car. I actually have worn it like when I go grocery shopping. I've had some people ask about it, so that's good.
Mask.
So is Jeannie on the treadmill?
Yes. Multitasking.
Yeah,
Mhm. I've actually got my treadmill up and dusted off, so been on it about 3 hours a day periodically. Trying. All that matters. Trying. So
Ours
how's
just
everyone
became-
else doing?
Terrific. Terrific.
What was that, Liz?
First shot, I'm so
Terrific.
excited. So,
I turned into the Story County Boys and Girls Club gala on Saturday night. I think they had a very
Mhm.
successful,
yes, they did.
yeah, so kudos to Erica.
Yeah, excellent.
Mhm.
so what did you bid on?
That-
I did, I got the bid on 2 sets of tools
Ah,
Oh,
for grandson.
Nice. Hey, Debbie, check your phone. Check your phone.
Yes.
Dean, I bid on the car wash and I lost my bid. So,
ah,
kind of thought, I can do a car wash a month. And so, but I lost it.
But Liz was a donor. I saw her name on the list of donors.
Yeah, yeah. So, wanted to make sure there was something, and even though I lost the bid. But I looked at the tools, but I have a lot of leftover tools for my husband. Like, how many circular saws does one need? I have three of which have very short cords, because every time he'd go through it, he just went out and bought another saw. I said, can't you repair these? He said, I don't have time. I said, okay, fine. So I got 3 circular saws, half a cord.
There has to be a
Here we
place
are, everyone.
where you can donate that. Hello, Chad.
Hi.
Morning, Chad.
Of all the days to have trouble connecting my audio, but it finally started working.
Kleenex, please.
So we have to stop talking about you then?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
I hear the Boys and Girls Club raised about $90,000.
Yeah, I saw 70 something, but then I didn't check. They're really good at this.
Yes.
Hey, Chad, is today your birthday?
No, not me.
Oh, sorry.
Jeff
Is it
Johnson.
close?
We do have a special
Oh, I
some
see.
birthdays, but yeah, not
Okay.
mine.
all right. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm going to mute so you don't have to listen to the treadmill.
It's squeaking a little bit.
It's good motivation for the rest of us.
I don't know about that. I find it kind of depressing.
Jeannie, as long as it's the treadmill squeaking and not your knees, you're good.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Would you fold that so
I'm sorry.
would you fold it so it's
Well, Karen, are all the moving parts working? Have you tested them all?
We've got Liz's going. I think mine's ready. My PowerPoint's ready. I don't know about Andrew Allen's group. I assume Sarah probably has done one or two of these meetings, so she knows what she's doing. I have a feeling it'll
Good to
be
see.
more Sarah than Andrew, don't you think, Liz?
Okay. It's good that we have our masks,
Yeah,
but
we have
if you want to
we have our
leave them
mask.
off until
old enough
12,
to-
that's fine too.
Yeah. I want to see your faces.
okay.
Ta-da.
I'd be so expressive with, it's hard to be so expressive with your eyes. Eyes only. So Jim, Randy, you were on the global grant seminar.
I was until I got
along
kicked
with me
off at the
on
break.
Saturday.
I sent
You
them a
weren't
note.
you were not the only one. They said there were several people that did that. And
I sent him
they,
a note today, so I said I better get
for
credit
whatever
for it.
reason, nobody could get back. We did. I didn't learn too much new, but
Mhm.
there were, for those of you who didn't attend, we have talked about our 6 areas of focus. And now Rotary International and the foundation have for the environment. So, so now there will be 7 areas of focus. Hello, Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara Woods.
Hey, just
Oh, there she is. Okay.
She's there
I was
with her
preparing,
mask on.
just preparing for the meeting today, I realized that I'm going to be talking a lot. Does anyone want to volunteer to offer our Pledge of Allegiance, just to change it up a little bit? Anyone? No one's gonna sign on early if I start assigning parts. Okay. I tried.
If you want for me to do something, I can.
Oh, you want to do it? That would be awesome. Thank you, Karen.
Give me an assignment.
But that means there's going to be like a 1-2 minute pause of letting people into the meeting while you're doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone's going to have to wait. They probably wait anyway because you're standing up with your hand over your heart.
this one, and this one's on the clicker on my mouse, so I can let them in. I stand
One
off
hand
to
on
the
your
side
heart,
and
one
I
hand
try
on the
to
clicker.
click them in. Yeah. I'm doing what Jeannie's doing. I'm multitasking.
Yeah.
I'm doing all that. So if there's something you would like me to do, just let me know. I'll read the birthdays or whatever. So.
Karen did an excellent job getting the face masks distributed. She had a very sophisticated system and got them distributed quickly, I think. Thanks, Karen.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, you're welcome. I had a good group of volunteers. So
I always
they
say,
were
is there anything
eager to
Karen
assist.
doesn't do? Is there one thing
Yeah.
Karen doesn't do? I don't know what it is.
Any of you ever seen the movie?
I can think
Have
of-
you ever seen the movie Funny Farm with Chevy Chase? It's an older movie,
Mhm.
and there was a rural mail carrier who would deliver the mail.
Mhm.
That's one way we could have distributed the masks. We could have just drove by and threw the masks out the door, but and
Out the
laughed.
Didn't he knock over the mailboxes too when he would do that?
Yeah, I just think that I've watched that movie only a couple times, but there were some lines in there I thought were some of the funniest ones I recall ever.
Mhm.
But that's Chevy Chase for you.
Jim Black,
Yes,
you're downing a new beard.
who's talking?
I'm Karen. And you're talking about your beard.
Oh, it's a protest beard.
What are you protesting?
The virus.
Don't you know that the beard is more acceptable to getting it?
I'm using it as a filter, Cliff.
Oh, okay. It looks nice.
Thank you.
I'm surprised it's as white as it is, though. You're younger than I thought. You should be younger.
Well, relatively speaking, maybe a little, but not relative to the world.
I did not
And
recognize.
Mary Ann is agreeable.
Yeah, actually, she likes it. And I've told other people it kind of takes some of the fun out of it.
Hello, Jennifer Garst.
Jennifer Garst is my neighbor.
Yes, yeah.
Thrilled to see her after what, a month or 6 weeks of not seeing you around. So, hi, Jennifer.
You're muted,
You're
Jennifer.
on mute.
Liz, I walk past your house a lot. Now,
Oh, well, you're not, you must be walking at some hour that I'm not looking out the kitchen window. A lot of people walking in my neighborhood, so that's really great.
is Jean on a treadmill talking to being on the Zoom?
What's the over under on us getting to 100 participants on our call today? Anybody?
30.
Oh,
Well, I show 18 right now.
pretty much.
Yeah, we got a ways to go.
Yeah.
And I will be taking off at quarter
Yep.
after 12. But I'm here to be counted as 100.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'd be curious, of those on the call, who has a vaccine? Give a thumbs up if they have. About half of you. Yay, that's exciting.
Oh, the vaccine.
How many have had their second?
I get mine today.
Yeah, lucky you. Mine's a couple weeks down the road. So Chad, are we gonna have a brag bucket on one of our Zoom meetings?
Yeah, actually, I want to send out an email next week and then talk about it at our March 8th meeting. And we can talk about our budget, and then we'll talk about, I think, 3 primary areas that, as a club, we've supported very favorably in the past, and how our current budget might challenge us a bit. So to solicit money for a scholarship brag bucket or meeting or 2 coming up yet this spring is part of that solution. So absolutely, yes.
I think.
So right now, the ones you want to brag about.
So I think Brian and Gary ought to just start getting the check ready to write, since they're so well featured in the Des Moines Register, that it's been a terrific series, and it's great to talk about the staff and what the hospital is doing. But I'm just suggesting that you get hit up for the brag bucket. I don't know where Brian is, but you might pass that on, Gary.
Yeah, well, I don't see that either one of us were actually featured in any of those articles.
Yeah, okay, I'll write a letter to the editor and make sure you're mentioned. Is that what you need?
No. And Brian's on vacation this week. He's actually down in Arizona.
Oh, gosh, too
Well, I
bad.
hope he's going to join us to get counted, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know. He might actually be on a bicycle similar to what Jeannie's doing, but outside.
You got a week of 50s coming up, Gary. I'm going to be hitting Ada Hayden before long.
Absolutely.
Well, I was out there on Saturday, Jim, with my walking partner, and I would say that 96% of the students who were packed out there, the people walking, were not wearing masks.
Well, on a bike, you don't need to worry about the masks, but you do kind of need it to be warm enough you don't freeze.
Well, true, but it's dicey. It was just too crowded, so we're walking elsewhere right now.
I'm gonna do just
Is
a
the
present.
mall open? Is the mall open to walk?
Oh, Jenny says yes.
Don't know. Says yes. Okay.
I
What was that, Jennifer?
I have a friend who walks there regularly.
If you want to go a little bit further, White Rock Conservancy has lots of trails, and there's not many people out there, and it's a fun place to be. I've been spending a lot of time there.
Some of us tropical folks have to wait for it to get a little warmer.
This is the week then.
We're up to 27 now.
We have 5 minutes to get to 100.
I send out a reminder. Yeah, we're slowly getting there. Slow.
No, I would say once it gets above 40 degrees, I'm ready to jump on the trail bike and hit the trails. So next week looks very promising.
Can someone take a screenshot of this? Anyone?
We can try.
Yeah.
I can hold up a camera as long as I don't get.
Can you just do using your keyboard, do a screen lock or screen print? Along the top row, it often is, there's a button that'll say screen print.
I clicked it. Don't know.
And
if it
then you just
happened,
have to
but I clicked it.
do a copy onto a blank Word document.
Screenshot.
My screen shows 25 people in each full screen, so we would need to take 4
Yeah.
pictures at least because we're going to have 100 people.
Hey, I did it. There you go, Jean. Or thank you, Jenny. So any other news of the day, folks?
Market is doing well.
Very good today. You don't want me to start investing, I'll send everything into a tailspin. We're inching up to 50 anyway.
Mine only
Couple of
says
minutes to
44.
spare.
Mine only says 44.
It's a bit of a delay,
Ah,
bit of a delay.
Can you hear me talk with this mask
All
on?
right.
yes.
Yes. Park Woodle, I like your background.
I was thinking that about cliffs also. Makes me want to go fishing.
Jeff has always been the difficult one, hasn't he?
All right. We've got 3 pages. I can try to take some screenshots once we start getting people on. We're right at 12. Chad, so
All right.
whenever you want to start.
We
let me
have
know.
we have a full agenda today, so we are going to get started, and we will continue to admit people as we go, but we want to make sure we get through everything. Welcome everyone to the March 1st, 2021 meeting of the Rotary Club of Ames, and happy Centennial anniversary, everyone.
Okay. Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah. Well,
Let me
before
get-
we go any further, we have a special surprise. Here we go.
That works. There you go. Happy anniversary.
There we go. The fireworks have started, everyone.
There you go. All right. And Chad, you want to go ahead?
Yep. So we'll go ahead. Today, we'd like to start by reading our club charter, our original club charter. The International Association of Rotary Clubs hereby certifies that the Rotary Club of Ames, Iowa, has been elected to membership in this association and, having agreed to be bound by the Constitution thereof, which agreement is duly evidenced by the acceptance of this certificate, is declared to be an affiliating club of the International Association of Rotary Clubs, to be and remain such as provided by the Constitution of this association. Witness the seal of the International Association of Rotary Clubs, duly attested by its officers this first day of March, 1921. The president signed it, Rotary International President 2021, Estes Snedeker, and Club Secretary 2021, Chelsea R. Perry. And we're going to have Karen lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance virtually here as we start our meeting.
All right, everyone up. If you would all stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of
of the
America,
United States of America, and to the republic
for which it stands,
One nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and
with
justice.
liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
While we're getting settled, we'd like to take a time, even on our anniversary and centennial celebration today, to remember those that need an extra thought. We'll continue to hold Gerald Clonglin in our thoughts today as he is recovering. I'm not aware today of anyone in our family other than Gerald right now that needs an extra thought. Is there anyone that would want to unmute and offer up anyone else?
Rod Place. Rod Place.
Okay. We will keep Rod Place in our thoughts as well. With that, let's just take a moment. All right, thank you, everyone. Looks like we're up to 74 participants and getting closer, 75. We're going to have Louis unmute and sing our welcome song today. Louis will also join us later with some special music, but today he's going to kick us off with the welcome song. Take it away, Louis.
Okay, here we go. Well, not wasting time and get right started. Welcome to you from Ames Rotary, Nevada, London, or Gay Paris, from far off lands or the USA. We're glad that you are here today. Come back again whenever you're near. Join us and then we'll make it clear. Around the world you will always be welcome at Rotary.
Thank you, Louis. Like to remember those that are having birthdays today, and look at that right there at the top. Happy birthday, Jeff Johnson. Today you share a birthday with the Rotary Club of Ames. So happy birthday to all of our club members listed there who have birthdays in March. We also have some anniversaries there, so happy anniversary to all of you Rotarians that are listed on the slide as well. And look at that, membership anniversaries. Riney, happy anniversary, 61 years of our 100-year existence. So happy anniversary. Look at that, Roger and Steve at 25 years as well. And thank you to our newest members as well, Kevin, Aaron, Kristen, Pates. That's exciting. I'm going to read to you a letter from Rotary International President Holger Knack. Dear Rotary Club of Ames, Iowa, USA members, I am honored to congratulate the Rotary Club of Ames on its 100th anniversary. Since your club was chartered, you have made the commitment not only to represent Rotary in your community, but also to do significant, meaningful work from which your community will benefit. When we join Rotary, we make a commitment to Rotary values, to friendships, and to a life of service above self. As a Rotarian, everywhere you go in the world, you are among friends. Through our work, we open opportunities for the people and communities we serve and opportunities for ourselves to live richer, more meaningful lives. All of the service that Rotary does, all of the lives we change, all of the children in the world who will never ever get polio, all this happens because we, joining together through Rotary, are strong. You have risen to many challenges through the years and met your obligations as members of this wonderful organization. Each Rotary Club is unique in its own way. By reaching this milestone, you have shown your commitment to our organization and to all that Rotary does and hopes to do. Congratulations once again on your 100 years. I know that you will continue to serve your community and beyond for many more years to come as Rotary opens opportunities. Sincerely, Holger Knack, President, Rotary International of 2020 to 2021. And now we have our special song, Louis. This was special words by Charles Knicker. And this is a Centennial celebration song about philanthropy.
Right, it is. And so it's to the tune of Happy Birthday. So we'll go with, we've got 3 verses of this philanthropy Centennial birthday song that Charles Knicker has written the words to. Happy anniversary to us. Happy versary, no fuss. 100 good years, Ames Rotary. Nothing minus, just plus. Harris Fellows, one all. Happy granters, large, small. Happy memories, Ames Rotary. Heard the foundation's call. Our united way is near. Others helped were in fear. Happy giving, Ames Rotary. For a world is safe and clear.
Thank you very much, Louis, and Music Committee and Centennial Celebration Committee. That was awesome. I would now like to invite Jeff Johnson, the birthday boy today, to unmute and visit a bit about the Centennial Committee itself.
As many of you know, this committee was unable to meet in person, so all the work we've done over the last 7 months has been done virtually. And then none of this could not have been accomplished without the incredible support of this committee. Tanya Anderson is still working with her committee to pull together our September in-person celebration. We hope to still do that. But I want to take this opportunity to thank all of them, including Jim Baker, Louis Bannett, Liz Beck, Don Borcherding, John Christie, Carol Custer, Kent Frankenfeld, Don Goring, Deborah Johnson, Gerald Conglin, Charles Knicker, Gene Cressy, Jim Patton, Monica Porter, Karen Sebdy, and Jeannie Legates. Thank you all for your tireless work on behalf of our Rotary Club, your work on this Centennial Committee, and I know the work that we still have to do. So, Chad, thanks for giving us an opportunity to carry out this work.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for your work and all of your committee's work. We look forward to continuing to celebrate, but it's been awesome so far, making the best of the hand that's been dealt us. We now have a special video from Holger Kanak. Go ahead, Karen.
Hello, fellow Rotarians. I'm delighted to share in your celebration today. Celebrating a 100th anniversary is a major milestone in the Rotary world. And my only disappointment is
Hold on.
that I couldn't be with you to celebrate firsthand. I also want to congratulate you for finding an innovative way to keep on celebrating and bringing people together as we continue physical distancing, especially for large gatherings. As I have watched the many ways you and all within the family of Rotary have opened opportunities close to home and around the world, I have never been more proud to be a Rotarian. Change can be very difficult and challenging, but we should embrace it because it points us toward the next 100 years in Rotary. We will get through this by working together and taking care of which is just what Rotary members do. Being a friend for life means paying special attention when times are most difficult. Some of our Rotarians are having more difficulty adapting to change than others. So please pay special attention to them. This will be important going forward because the rate of change will not slow down. Our Rotary Action Plan calls on us to increase our ability to adapt. For clubs, that means finding new ways to connect and meet. We are looking to you for innovation and are eager to share your best ideas. One way we can adapt more efficiently is to make the most of our enhanced relationship with Rotaractors. They are ambitious, energetic, and impatient. We need their kind of leadership now more than ever. And we also need your leadership in your club, in your community. I encourage you to do everything you can to help your community to adapt to these difficult and unusual circumstances. Even in the midst of so much uncertainty, we have all seen examples of how people all over the world are safely stepping up to demonstrate service above self. These are challenging times, but Rotary has survived even worse times. We helped keep society together through 2 world wars, a Great Depression, and other catastrophes. And our commitment to disease prevention and treatment has helped mitigate situations like the one we are experiencing now. Let us not forget our commitment to eradicate polio. The vital infrastructure our effort created and sustains is assisting countries around the world in their COVID-19 preparations and response. And this is why we cannot step back from our support and commitment to Polio Plus. We have a great legacy to be proud of, and your milestone is a celebration of that legacy. But the greatest legacy we can give to the world is to keep Rotary's values alive for many years to come. We will do that by living the 4-way test and staying true to our core values. And we will do that by leveraging all the gifts we have received by being part of this great organization and making sure that we will build on it. In projects big and small, in all parts of the world, Rotary means many different things, but it always opens opportunities. Us and the people we serve. Congratulations on your important milestone, and thank you.
And there you have it, a video specifically for us from Rotary International President Holger Kanak. As many of you are aware, we have a proclamation from the city of Ames, Rotary Club 100th anniversary. Whereas the Rotary Club of Ames, Iowa received its charter from Rotary International on March 1st, 1921 as the 836th club, and thus is celebrating its 100th anniversary. And whereas the club counts among its members Ames and Story County community leaders in business, the professions, education, and trades, and whereas the club has enhanced the quality of life for said communities by observing the Rotary motto, service above self, and has sponsored and supported numerous projects in these communities, including most recently the Rotary Club of Ames Miracle Field located in the Ames Miracle Park, tree planting and care at Tedesco Environmental Learning Center, and over $400,000 given to other local organizations in the last decade. And whereas the club is contributing to and supporting Rotary International's Polio Plus program to eradicate polio in developing countries and regions worldwide, and whereas the club has contributed to and supported Rotary International's education exchange for high school, college, and graduate students throughout the world, and whereas the club has been actively involved in enhancing the lives of Tanzanian citizens through water, sanitation, and hygiene projects, and a milk processing system, global grant, and whereas the Rotary Club of Ames, Iowa will officially celebrate its centennial anniversary with the theme, Beginning Our Second Century of Service, virtually on March 1st, 2021, including the club's members, guests, and visiting dignitaries. Therefore, I, John A. Hala, Mayor of the City of Ames, Iowa, do hereby congratulate the Rotary Club of Ames on its 100th anniversary and commend it for its community service by declaring March 1st, 2021, Rotary Club of Ames Day. Signed this 26th day of January, 2021, Mayor John A. Hala. So pretty exciting news there. As you can see, we also have another picture representing, but I think Karen's computer might be frozen. Her picture's frozen. There we go. Here's the picture of our $300,000 contribution to the Ames Foundation for the Rotary Club of Ames Miracle Field at the Miracle Park. I also know that I even talked to people who went there this Saturday when the weather was warm, and they said it was so crowded, it was hard to even enjoy the facility. That's how popular it already is. And as I think about this, I just think about, I don't know, I think the heartbeat of a club is reflective of the heartbeat of its members. And we have an amazing membership full of service above self perspective, and that shows in all we do. Recent evidence of this witness from Gerald Klongland to his caregivers at Mary Greeley Medical Center. Gerald was a faithful witness of service above self and put his own recovery from his stroke to good work. He was evangelizing and helping spread the word about the good news that Rotary does. So thank you, Gerald. And I would say that our collective heartbeat is strong. I would say the Rotary Club of Ames is operating in the orange zone. For those of you that are in about Orange Theory fitness, that means we've hit a sweet spot in a very challenging time. And despite the challenges, I am so happy and proud of the Centennial Celebration Committee and Jeff for leading that committee and all that you've done, because it's been challenging to enjoy and celebrate this club through this year. So thank you for all you've done. And I can't wait to celebrate this milestone again, hopefully in person, September of 2021. I'm also going to now turn it over to Liz Beck, who's going to share a bit about a Centennial moment about club philanthropy. Take it away, Liz.
Thank you, Chad. Okay, let me get this up. Okay, can everybody see this? All right. So I'm going to give you 10 minutes less than 10 minutes maybe, on our philanthropy from 1995 to 2001. And I have help from Bill Colner, who is, wait, where am I? I can't get to my, so I'm sharing the screen and now I can't get over to the what I need here. What do I need here? Karen, are you with me, or is Karen?
Yes.
So I'm screen.
I'm with you.
But I can't get to my.
You're on the.
I can't get to the start from the first.
You're on the screen that says the Rotary Foundation record.
Right,
it's
but
your second slide.
It won't. Okay, well, let's see what happens here. So Bill Colner helped me with this. He's, I think, the district foundation person, everything. So we're going to talk first about the Rotary Foundation. So according to his records, we have given $185,425 to Polio Plus. Part of that includes some help from the Gates Foundation. Then our annual fund since 1995 is $655,985. Endowment fund, $41,676. And then we have 156 members for every Rotarian every year at $25 a year. And then we move to the Paul Harris, which is also part of the foundation. And we have 512 all-time Paul Harris fellows. And then in 2017-18, if I'm correct, Karen, the club used its Paul Harris accumulated points and awarded our members who weren't Paul Harris fellows enough points to become Paul Harris fellows. So at that year, we had 100% of our club participating as Paul Harris fellows. The Paul Harris eligible group gives, they come at intervals of $1,000 a year. So you can step up through the Paul Harris fellows. Then society eligible Paul Harris are people who pledge to give $1,000 a year. And the Paul Harris Society members are people who have given $1,000 a year. We have 19 benefactors at a minimum of 1,000. We have 13 major donors from 10,000 to 100,000, and 7 bequest society, which is 10,000 to 100,000. Total giving to our foundation is $1,216,224. That's just to our foundation. Then I want to move on to what our club does locally. And this is with Karen's help from her records. And these are from 2006, because I think we didn't keep complete records before that. Was that, Karen, part of what I understand? And this breaks down into segments. So we're going to start with local projects. Over the years since 2006 to 2021, we supported 100 local projects. And I'm going to give you a selected list. So here's the first of these screens. And then I wanted to include more, so the type got smaller, because it's really hard for me to figure out which one of our local projects we wanted to post on this screen, but it is 118 projects, and that's pretty amazing. And so these are my selections, and we can send you the sheet that Karen has of all of them. So total collected local projects, $835,719.07. That's our local ones. Now we have 11 regional projects. And those are the Bunny Harper Golf Outing, our District 6000 grants to Food Bank, the Joplin, Missouri Disaster Relief, the Parkersburg Tornado Relief. Whoops, sorry, there's a typo down there. Those contributions are $45,520. Then we move to our 20 international projects. And those are listed here. Again, I had to reduce the type because there were just so many that I couldn't get them all in. But I wanted to include our 2 group study exchanges that we had, Chile and Sweden. And then the last entry, the Uganda mosquito netting project, is when one of our students came back and asked for help with the mosquito netting from both our club and the morning club. And we gave him $5,000, I think. And he provided mosquito netting in Uganda, where he was doing his ambassadorial scholarship to help prevent malaria so kids could go to school. The total contributions on our international projects were $64,634.94. Then we move to our global grant projects. And we have 9 of those, and most of these are, of course, headed up by Gerald and his team. So these are water and sanitation products, they're health products. There's some school supplies in here that I didn't list. But typically we have done great work in Tanzania, and these are the Tanzanian projects. Our global projects equal $158,653.93. So when we get, we have a total then of all of our projects from our local club. There's total is 158 projects that this club has pursued since 2006. But let's talk about more than the money. Let's also talk about what our volunteers have done. Okay. So in the nonprofit world, you compute the cost of a volunteer hour, and the national average as of 2019 was $27.20 an hour. The Iowa rate is $24.03. So I asked Karen about this, and during the term of Don Borcherding, she kept the number of hours, and it ended up to be 236 hours. That time in that year, we had 174 members. Equals 41,064 hours, and you take that times 2403, and that equals $986,768. That is the cost that it would be if we did not use our volunteer time. So if you put it all together, the actual dollar contributions and the volunteer dollar equivalent contributions, we come up with a grand total of $3,307,525.06. Thank you, Jeff. So I want to thank all of you and all of the club members for the generosity of both your dollars and your time. Because of you, our club is living out its motto of service above self. There's also in here, we have had our global scholarship students, of which we don't actually put in that much money, but it's their district scholars, and the ones coming out of our club is we've had 13 scholars since 1995, coming out of our club for a total of $150,000. And we've had 3 global scholars coming out of our club for a total of $90,000. So thank you to all. I think if you want to see these slides and the documentation behind it, I'd be more than happy to provide it. But this club is unbelievably generous. And if people want to know what Rotary Club does, we really provide a huge amount of support all over our community, our county, and the world. Thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you, Liz, for accumulating that information. That is so helpful and affirming for us as a club to live out service above self. So thank you. And we also, here on our Centennial Celebration Day, have scheduled a regular program. And Liz, if you wouldn't mind hanging around here and introducing our program for the day as well.
Great. Today's program is about YSS and specifically about foster families. So our presenters today are Andrew Allen and Sarah. Oh God, Sarah, I don't have your last name.
Wiedenhoeft.
Yeah. So I have to introduce you, Alan.
Okay.
So you're president and CEO of YSS. It's a 40-year youth agency devoted to helping sustaining youth, building better lives. Andrew credits YSS, and we've all heard this story, about saving his life. And while he worked in the development area for principal, he chose to move over to YSS because he started as a charter member on the board of directors as a youth, and then became part of the foundation, and then became the CEO. So he's had a number of successes in both capital campaigns, and he created Reggie's Sleep Out, which is the signature fundraising, an awareness event. And even in hard times, they figured out how to do Reggie's Sleep Out. And so one year it was actually in the snow, if I remember correctly. But people do what you need to do because of youth and shelter service. With him is Sarah, who started out as an intern at YSS in the foster care adoption program and has become a full-time member and of YSS. And she now is the YSS foster care adoption manager and supervises the foster care adoptions caseworkers that are assigned to provide services to foster adopt families in Story, Boone, Dallas, and Polk County. So, Andrew and Sarah, welcome. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thanks so much, Liz. And what a tribute and honor it is to be with so many friends on such a special day. I'm going to go through a couple slides quickly and get to the point where I can turn things off to the main show. Sarah, who's just a rock star in her space and expert in foster care and adoption across the state. I couldn't present today without also just acknowledging, as Liz did, how much Rotary has done for YSS over the years. Just think about, I've got probably half a dozen or more board members on the screen right now. You've been supported from a human trafficking standpoint, the holiday gift baskets and totes organized by Cher Holtz, who you see in the picture right there, and a basketball court a few years ago where I got sober at 712 Burnett. I always start with mission and vision. Mission's pretty important and it's simple. Our mission at YSS is to create hope and opportunity by putting kids first. And we really envision a world where youth are valued and empowered to stand strong. We're headquartered here in Ames, but have several community-based centers, like you can see, and a statewide presence on multiple contracts. We're here today to talk about foster and adoptive care. And like I said, Sarah's the expert, but our roots as an agency go back to the founding in the early 70s with George Blitzos and then becoming incorporated in 1976. We're around emergency services. So YSS, George had created the bus stop, just a drop-in center for kids who did not have any other place to go. And YSS became the first emergency child welfare agency focused on emergency shelter in the state, right alongside Bob Ray and a lot of other folks. YSS pioneered this space. And so a big piece of that is not just the emergency shelter, but it's also, how do we care for these kids going forward? So we've got a whole portfolio of child welfare services. If you think about the system, young people become a part of the child welfare system oftentimes because of abuse or neglect. For some reason, the state has decided that they are not safe in their home. And so removing a child from the home can be a very traumatic experience. And some legislation in 2018 that surprised a lot of folks called Family First at the federal level. They tied it to $4E, so federal funding for child welfare. Essentially, there were some experts that said, of all the kids that are removed from their home, 50% are returned home. And so are there things that we could be doing to prevent removal in the first place? So we're working hard from a prevention standpoint to remove or to prevent removal, but there are plenty of situations, as many as 4,000 a year, just in the state of Iowa, where kids need to be removed for their own safety. And so we've got programs like crisis stabilization. So those are for non-system involved kids. Let's say things are getting tense at home. It's not safe for the young person to be there. The parents and the kids realize it. Hospitals, that level of care is not required, but we do 24 hours to 2 weeks of crisis stabilization. We've got our emergency shelter, Rosedale Shelter, which most people are familiar with, and we do the same thing in Mason City. And then we provide foster care and adoption services. So I'm going to introduce Sarah, or actually Liz already introduced Sarah. I'm going to turn things over to her and allow her to kind of talk a little bit about our focus on foster care and adoption across Story and Boone County.
Thanks, Andrew. Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, congratulations on your 100th anniversary. Job well done. And it was an honor to kind of hear some of the accomplishments over the years. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, great. And I want to be cognizant of our time too. I could talk about foster care and adoption for a long time. So I'm going to set a timer here on the side so that I keep track of my time too. So if you see me looking at my phone, that's all I'm doing. So real quick, thank you for the introduction. Like Liz and Andrew said, my name is Sarah Wiedenhoeft. I've been with YSS proudly for 10 years and have kind of worked my way up the chain. So currently I supervise caseworkers who work in the foster care and adoption field. As I heard you presenting on Rotary Club and your motto, I heard several times, the motto of service above self. And when I think about all of our foster and adoptive families statewide, I couldn't think of a better motto, honestly. Our foster and adoptive families are constantly providing service to our kiddos above probably their own needs at times. If you do have questions, feel free to add it to the chat box too, and I'll leave a little bit of time for questions at the end as well. So just kind of a brief background on who we are. So YSS is currently a subcontractor of the RRTS contract in the state of Iowa. We use a lot of acronyms in our field. So to put it lightly, RRTS stands for the recruitment, the retention, the training, and the support for foster and adoptive resource families. Here at YSS, we have a team of staff that work under this contract. We work directly alongside the Department of Human Services, or often referred to as DHS. And really our main goal is to take care of our foster and adoptive families. They work diligently day and night to ensure the safety and well-being of children that are placed in their home. And so we're there to go alongside them, support them, train them, ensure that they have their needs met, and do whatever we can to make a difference in their lives. Another huge piece of the foster care adoption program here within YSS is collaboration. It's one of my favorite things. I mean, there's several, but one of my favorite things about working for YSS is being able to collaborate daily with other folks and other departments, within YSS. So foster care and adoption, there's so many different roles that foster parents have to wear when caring for foster children. And so to be able to work alongside other departments in therapy and counseling services, integrated health services, the child welfare emergency services, so our Rosedale shelter, AMP, which is a program for teens and youth in foster care, aftercare services. So really, it's beautiful to be able to, contact somebody else within YSS and say, hey, I need your help with, something with this foster family, and to see a lot of success stories out of that. Just to kind of give you a brief overview, in foster care, we have a lot of unmet needs. Right now, our biggest needs for homes in the area are for homes who are able to take care of teens, sibling groups, and then children who identify as LGBTQ. So what exactly is a resource family? A resource family is a family who provides foster care, a family who provides adoptive services, and a family who possibly does both. So both foster care and adoption. You may be wondering who can become a foster family. So here's just a few little bullet points. Obviously, I can answer more questions later on if you're curious about that. But first and foremost, we need people who have big hearts, patience, flexibility, stability. A sense of humor is huge, right? Sometimes we just have to laugh about things, and that makes us feel better. Foster parents are required to at least be 21 years of age to apply. We welcome all races and any religion practices. Foster parents can be single, married, or cohabiting, and they can be of any sexual orientation. So how can you help? Couple of different things that I want to highlight today. First of all, know that working with foster children in the foster care system can be challenging. Recognizing that children that are entering into the foster care system have experienced a significant amount of trauma, have experienced a significant amount of loss in their life. We tell our foster families that, some children may only have a little bit of trauma in their life, but even a little bit is a lot. And a loss of being removed from your birth family or your family of origin is a great loss for our children. Know how to successfully manage behaviors of challenging children. Oftentimes with loss and trauma comes some challenging behaviors. And then obviously going through the licensing process to become a foster and adoptive family if that's of interest of you or folks that you may know. I see a couple of questions, so I'll make sure to get to those. Other ways you can help. So we provide trainings to foster and adoptive families here in Story County. On the front end side, when a family decides that they want to become foster parents, there's a 10-week mandatory class that they have to go through, but then ongoing continuing education is also a requirement. And so I'm constantly looking for spaces that would be willing to share their space free of charge or at a very low cost for us to host those foster parents for training. Help spread the word, recruitment and finding families that are really willing to put in the work to become foster and adoptive parents is always a huge benefit for us. And then support families. If you know of somebody who's a foster family in your area, reaching out, starting a meal chain, even just small things like that can really make a huge difference.
And I'm going to just pick up there a little bit and talk a little bit about after foster care. So some of you may be familiar, and Liz touched on it, the story of Reggie Kelsey, who in 2001 had services as a young person in the foster care system. And there were services for him as an adult, but no great way to bridge the gap. So just 4 months after he turned 18 years of age, they found him dead in the Des Moines River. And as a result of that, the state stepped up and created a safety net program. And YSS applied for the RFP nearly 20 years ago, received it, and it's been renewed 4 times. So we're the lead agency helping to care for kids who age out of the foster care system. And Sarah talked a little bit about it, but the idea for foster care is family reunification. And if not reunified with the family, it's about permanency, and permanency means getting these kids adopted. So for the kids that for one reason or another have not been adopted, do not have a forever family, they age out. And those kids are at high risk for incarceration, for homelessness, for human trafficking. And as in Reggie's case, he was taken advantage of the streets of Des Moines and found dead. So YSS is really proud to lead this statewide. We've got 9 subcontracted partners in order to cover the entire state, helping 700 kids a year. You can see the history. It's been nearly 20 years. In 2006, we added up to $600 per month for the kids as kind of a carrot. If they're focused on their plan in the areas of education, employment, safe housing, and life skills. We extended the state training school in 2014. And just last year, gosh, it's hard to believe it's last year already, we launched extended aftercare services. And I'm going to show you a quick video, but essentially we had been working with kids for 3 years, and now we get to work with kids for 5 years as their frontal lobes fully develop. And I want to just share with you this video. You can hear it from them directly.
I have gone through so much more in these past couple of years than I ever could have imagined.
Oof. Let me try this. Is that clocking for you guys? Let me stop.
It can be overwhelming. There's a lot of things, especially right now with the whole world going crazy.
Many of these kids that we're serving, they have a bad week or a bad month. They don't have a place to call home.
I'm gonna just stop this, guys. That wasn't great for you, was it? It wasn't good for me. Let me try this. I can't hear that, can you? Well, it's going to be great. And we will reshare it after the meeting. Okay, let me try this again. Can you see that now? I'm muted. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right, so we'll send that video afterwards. Sorry about that. A few things that are coming. Workforce is a big deal. Many of our kids want to work, but they don't necessarily have the skills. So in Des Moines on Euclid Avenue, in partnership with Hy-Vee, we're going to be putting up a workforce training program called Rooftop Gardens. We're going to grow basil and other herbs in retrofitted shipping containers on the roof of this building, package it and sell it at Hy-Vee. Allowing our kids to earn a livable wage for 3-month fellowships. And we're also working on a housing project called 6th Avenue Flats, where we're gonna have housing and supportive services for these kids. It's difficult oftentimes to find them places to live. You, of course, can always learn more about YSS online, but also I wanna encourage you to join us every Thursday night, 7 o'clock on Facebook. I know a lot of you are there. We do a live program. I think Sarah has been on, where we talk about different programs from YSS, including foster and adoptive care. So here's Sarah's information. And Sarah, do you want to take a minute to answer some of the questions that you saw in the chat?
Yeah, I would love to. Lots of good questions coming in. So just stop me if I'm running out of time. See, that was my initial timer. It went off. So please just stop me. Otherwise, I will answer a few questions. Like Andrew said, there's my contact information. feel free, if you have more questions that you would like answered, or have a specific scenario about maybe a family that you know in need, I'm always happy to walk through those things with you. So it looks like Jim was the first one to ask a question. Jim asked, if you were recruiting new foster children, it's a two-part question. Number one, what is the scariest or maybe most difficult thing they may face? And what is the most satisfying part of being a foster parent? So while I, work in the field and have for a while, I, luckily have been blessed to have never been in foster care, and I'm not a foster parent myself. So I'll do my best to answer those questions just based off of what I know. I think, when we train our foster parents, we do what we call an imaginary journey with them. And it's an opportunity for them to close their eyes. Usually I shut off the lights and try to kind of set the scene. And walk them through what it would be like if you yourself were literally pulled away from everything that you knew. And sometimes that's, very quickly and suddenly. And so the scariest thing that I feel children face right at the beginning is just that initial removal and the unknowns of where they're going to go. How long are they going to be away for? When will they get to see their pets? When will they get to see their, obviously their parents and their family, but all the little things too, not little things, but pets and, friends and, that kind of stuff. It's such an intimidating and daunting world. And so we teach our foster parents, some ways and some skills to help children through that. What is the most satisfying part of being a foster parent? I think, each foster parent may have a different answer for that. I know through the years I've experienced so many successful stories of children reunifying with their birth family. And that's what we're here for. And so in my opinion, that's the most satisfying part, is being able to provide stability and love for those kiddos until they can be reunified. And hopefully that relationship stays once a child is reunified. A lot of our foster parents are able to still see the children that they care for after they're reunified and be a support to those birth parents who likely need that, that positive support in their life. It looks like Liz wrote, how successful is foster to adoption of young children? So we really try not to use the term foster to adoption. And the reason is because our goal is to reunify children to their birth family. So I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for with that answer, but what I can tell you is that a lot of our families who are adoptive parents do end up adopting a child through the foster care system. And we always say that's kind of a bittersweet moment, because while that child deserves the permanency of what that adoptive family is providing, it also means that they weren't, for whatever reason, able to be reunified with their birth family. So hopefully that answers your question. I'm not sure if you're looking for something more specific. I did add something about the ACEs scale. Feel free to look at that if you're interested. It's very interesting. Sophie asked if there's any income requirements to be a foster parent. Great question. There is not. Absolutely not. We have people that live in a 2-bedroom apartment, or a small home, and as long as you're able to prove that you can provide for the basic needs of a child and for any emergencies that might arise, there is, each family does get maintenance checks for children placed in their care, but there are no income requirements to become a foster parent. Looks like Jim asked, how do you cooperate with Catholic charities, Lutheran social services, and other faith-based groups? Yeah, so that's a great question too, Jim. So Catholic Charities is a private adoption agency. And so that's a little bit different from the work we do. We're primarily focused on foster care and ensuring that children can be reunified with their birth families. I lost.
What percentage?
Sorry, I lost the chat. What is it?
I saw Tom
here
ask
we go.
percentage of kids are reunited with their families, and Sarah might have a different number, but based on that family first legislation, the reports, it looked like 1 out of 2, half of all kids who were moved from their home ultimately ended back up with their family.
Yep. Great question. I got another question. Are foster families responsible for health insurance? Great question. All children are covered, all foster children are covered under state Medicaid or Title 19. So foster families are not responsible for any health insurance for foster children placed in their home. Any other questions?
Like Sarah had a question. Did you see that?
No.
What help do birth families receive while their children are in foster care to prepare them for their children being returned?
I see that now. Sorry, it's a little bit lagged. Yeah, so that's a wonderful question. So like I was saying before, you know, we partner with the Department of Human Services. And so the way I kind of look at it is the role as the caseworker, and what our role is we kind of serve the foster families and the adoptive families. And so the Department of Human Services, while they're serving the children in care, they're also serving the birth families. And so we train our foster parents to walk alongside our birth families. However, the department is really focused on ensuring that birth families get the services that they need. So oftentimes it's ensuring housing stability, ensuring job stability. If there is drug rehabilitation or mental health services that are needed for the birth parents, the department will ensure that those services are covered. Oftentimes a judge may order, you know, court order drug or alcohol rehabilitation or other services like that. Sometimes it's just taking parenting courses. A lot of our birth parents are coming from, you know, a pattern of how they were raised. And so oftentimes it's really just kind of stopping that cycle and teaching our birth parents some skills that are really just kind of basic parenting skills that a lot of them never received as children themselves. Who verifies that school-age children are enrolled and attending school? So I'm not sure if you mean children in foster care or just children in general. So it is, you know, it is a legal right for all children to be attending school. And it is, you know, obviously that's the law. And so that's a great question. When it comes to children in foster care, they are required to attend a public school setting. That's kind of one of the requirements when a child enters foster care. So lots of eyes on those kiddos, especially prior to, if a child, you know, if there were, you know, concerns about a child not attending school, oftentimes those issues would be called into the child abuse hotline. So neighbors or other community members who may feel as though a child, you know, should be attending school and are concerned that they aren't, those things would be called into the hotline and then further investigated by the Department of Human Services. Foster care kids. Okay, I see your clarification. Yep, all foster children have to legally attend public school.
And there was some, you know, I think that a lot of the kids in the families that Sarah's working with do sometimes, because of get quite a bit of publicity. And I believe Senator Herman Kornbach actually sponsored some legislation 2 or 3 years ago to require that those kids get access to schools. When the pandemic hit, child welfare and child abuse cases dropped off a cliff. So because these kids were not being seen by teachers and therapists and community members, reports went away. So we knew these kids were being abused, likely behind closed doors. As I interact with my peer group and also, you know, subscribe to some national groups in child welfare, I think our system is preparing for a tsunami of need, both from a child welfare standpoint and a mental health standpoint. And I know that there's a lot of kids out there who are experiencing significant trauma and they're going to need help. I also, before I stop, just want to say thanks so much to Sarah and her team. As you think about the pandemic and the way that organizations like YSS and all of us had to adapt in the midst of the pandemic as it related to delivery of service. We went to telehealth for therapy and counseling. We went to virtual trainings and a lot of Zoom meetings and virtual case management. The foster and adoptive care team were one of the first to be back on the front lines, meeting with families in their homes, one-on-one, ensuring that the safety of the kids that we're serving is put first. So thanks, Sarah and team. You're doing a great job.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you to both of you for all your hard work. It's not easy, obviously, the work that you do, but we appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to come and on our celebration day to share the work that you do and help us help create awareness and help us be aware how we can do and serve in other capacities. So thank you very much.
My pleasure. I'd be happy to join another meeting whenever. So everybody take care.
Thank you. As we wrap up this Centennial Celebration Day, just wanted to make sure I remind you all that next week, Monday, the 8th of March, will be a vote to approve the slate of officers that has been approved by your board of directors. So you can see those on the screen. This has been clarified because in the virtual world, unfortunately, names drop off here and there, but just want to make sure you all know this is now a complete list. And the proposed slate of officers by Kelsey Carper and Kent Frankenfeld and the nominating committee are Mason Adams for president-elect designee. So he would be club president in the year 2023 to 2024. And then the following board of director members: Maynard Hoberg, Jenny Legates, John Christie, Deb Shildraw, and Theresa Cooper. So we have 2 weeks here to consider these nominations. We will be voting on those at next Monday's meeting. Next Monday is also a program by the City of Ames Planning and Housing Director, Kelly Diekman. So that's next week's program. And yeah, what an amazing celebration. What an amazing day. What an amazing accomplishment. Thank you to everyone who made this possible. Karen, you don't get enough credit for the amount of time that you put in behind the scenes, making everyone look good, having all of this coordinated. Thank you so much for all you do. We don't want to take you for granted, and thank you for all you do. I appreciate that. With that, happy anniversary, everyone. And we'll end the meeting with our four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? We'll see you next week, everyone.